With the 53rd pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Jalen Hurts, quarterback, Oklahoma.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Well, it just got interesting, ladies and gentlemen, as Jalen Hurts is going to Doug Peterson and that Philadelphia offense.
No! Oh, please, God, no!
And there are a million ways this can go.
Oh, hell no.
When you look at this guy in Jalen Hurts, he's a winner. You talked about it. No matter where he's been, no matter what you ask him to do, he just finds ways to win. And
oh, hell no!
So, take a seat. PR is going to tell you a bit of a story. Okay? So, this is a hypothetical story. It didn't really happen. At least, not in this way. So, there's this woman. She's in her early, mid, maybe even late 20s. You know? She's someone who carries a lot of baggage. You know, a lot of people, they don't want to deal with her because, you know, she's not the classiest person in the world. She doesn't always dress the nicest. She might look good, but she's got issues. She's got a lot of issues to deal with. And this guy comes along. He's not slick at all, but he's a gentleman, right? He talks the talk and he walks the walk. He treats her well, treats her very nicely. Gives her basically everything that she would have wanted. He's one of those guys who I'm sure most girls or women or females would want to bring home to their father. You know, one of those guys the dad's going to approve of. Takes care of her. Gives her everything that she wants, like I said before. Deals with all of her baggage. All of them. All of her emotions. She gets emotional a lot. A lot of calm down. Okay? She's got a lot of issues. It's about 8 years later. She's like, you know, this guy is the greatest guy in the world. Treats me right. Does all the right things. Says all the right things. Calls her the most beautiful woman in the world. Every single day. Wakes up. Kisses her. Hey, beautiful. Goes to work. Comes home. Helps with the laundry. Helps with the dishes. After 8 years, he finally gets on one knee. And he says, hey, will you marry me? Thick-ass ring. Thick-ass ring. And she's like, well, yeah, I've been waiting for this for my whole life. You know, at least the last 8 years. And, you know, they plan the wedding. Get everything ready to go. This is looking like the greatest thing in the world. This is looking like the perfect act. Okay? This is one of those things where it's like, oh, the perfect ending to the perfect movie. Plan the wedding day. The wedding's about a year or two later. They're not going to elope. They're going to have this huge wedding. Huge wedding. Everyone's going to show up. Mom, dad, grandma, ice cream man, former roommate, guy who delivers the Chinese food is going to show. The cleaning lady is definitely going to show up. The guy who mows the lawn, the landscaper, the neighbor that lives 3 doors down that, you know, the parents invited that, you know, she was like, oh, I don't know. Well, she's coming too. And the night before the wedding, at the bachelor party, he invokes, he commits the cardinal sin. He cheats on her. Yeah, he cheats on her. he cheats on her. And the wedding gets called off because despite all the great things that he did for her, she can't trust him anymore. That one thing ruined everything. Okay? She can't trust him anymore. The trust is gone. The trust will never come back. You see, last night, that is exactly how I felt. I felt exactly the way that this woman in this hypothetical story probably would have felt. I got let down. Us Eagles fans, we got let down. We got let down badly. And we are currently being ridiculed right now. You know, I thought that the worst thing that we'd have to deal with was the Carson Wentz. You know, he got injured in a playoff game. I thought wheelchair Wentz was the only thing we were going to have to deal with. This is a whole different story. There are about 1 million reasons I can think of for why you don't do something like this. Now, there are reasons I can ascertain or entertain for why the Philadelphia Eagles selected Jalen Hurts with the 53rd overall pick in the draft. There are maybe 3 reasons I can think of. I'm not even going to entertain those reasons. I'm not even going to spend the time in this video to talk about it. And the only reason why I am not jumping up and down, going zigzag around the guest room at my house, my townhouse, is the fact that I'm 30 now. If I was 24, 25, oh, bless my poor wife's heart. Bless her heart. It would have been so much worse. The second reason is because in September, hopefully, if everything goes to plan, I will be a father. And I know it really wouldn't make that much of a difference, but I want to tell my son when it's time, or, you know, if everything goes to plan, that I made the best decisions that I could. And unfortunately, that's not the best decision. You see, when I booed the TV last night, I wasn't booing Jalen Hurts. Okay? I think that Jalen Hurts is a great kid. I think he's a great teammate. And I think that he will make the best of any decision that he has. Any decision anyone makes for him. That's a team player. That's a team player. We saw this in college. But I was booing at Howie Roseman. I understand that if there's no Howie Roseman, there is no Super Bowl. The Eagles don't win Super Bowl 52 without Howie Roseman. But it's different now. That was 2 years in the past. We need to move on from that. Howie Roseman is on the hot seat to me right now. Okay? He is on the hot seat. And the reason why he's on the hot seat is because that was a terrible pick. That was a terrible value pick. Day one, Jalen Reagor, he was one of the 2 guys that I wanted at 21. To me, anyone calling him a slot receiver, I'm sorry, I can respect your opinion, but I cannot agree with that assessment. There are many reasons why. Now, he could be a bust, but he is not a slot receiver. The guy is a baller. The guy is a phenom. I watched him for 3 years. My wife's a TCU fan. He is a great player. Is he as good as CeeDee Lamb? No, he's not. But I don't believe that he's the 9th best player in the draft. I think that he can play on the outside. He can play on the inside. He can play punt and kick returner. He's got speed. He's a speed machine. He can catch spectacular passes like he did in college at TCU. He's going from having Max Duggan to having Carson Wentz with it, which is a big leap. Third day, Howie redeemed himself. But I still cannot trust Howie Roseman. I can't do it. I can't. He's going to have to show me that Jalen Hurts was a good pick at number 2. Because at this point, I can't see it. Eagles fans, we deserve every single piece of jokes. I thought the jokes were gone when we won a Super Bowl. I thought the jokes were gone when Carson had the season he had last year in the end. The jokes are never going to end. Okay? I'm not the kind of person who jokes around like that with people. I'm not the kind of guy who jokes around about injuries. I'm not the kind of guy who jokes about the players that people have drafted. I don't do it. But at this point in time, we're going to get it. We're going to deserve it. And that's the end of the story. That's all I have, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. I had a great Thursday night, and I had a great day today. Jalen Hurts is a guy that I want in my locker room. But picking a quarterback with the second overall pick when he could have been available two picks later, or 2 rounds later, that doesn't make any sense. That is probably the biggest reach in NFL draft history. And I'm disappointed as a fan. But I'm not going to be hasty, and I'm not going to do or say something that I'm going to regret. Howie Roseman is on the hot seat, and I'm very disappointed with him. That's all I have. Hope everyone has a good day. Peace.